Run.
We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order of Kinney County Appraisal Board of Directors. That's time is 5:59. Maybe if you're closer. The date is Tuesday, January 13th. Year is 2026. And we are at the Kinney County Appraisal District Office at 412 Ann Street in Brackettville. We have an agenda that's been duly listed according to law. And the first item would be to call our meeting to order and to, we have established a quorum. So everyone is present, which is great. The next item for consideration is item number 2, which would be our signatures for the current board members, section 6.0302, and the acknowledgement of the director's duties. So
there's 3 pages in each of your packets of the duties of the board of directors. As was mentioned at the last meeting in the board, that all board members would sign that this year since it's a new requirement for new board members, but we'd go ahead and have all board members sign that. So if you would.
There's 3 of them in there?
There's 3 pages of your duties. No, they're just the first 3 pages there, Mr. Herb.
First 3 pages in the packet.
Yeah, see.
Acknowledgement of director's duties.
Yes. Yeah, and then there's 3 pages, and the third one is the one that needs your signature on it.
Now then, you gotta make it plain.
I'm working on it, Mr. Herb. So.
I'm a Soul Rolls graduate, I'm sorry. Nothing wrong with that.
I'll make a copy of my son copy. Please. As we're signing that form, I looked at the Texas property. So
Hey, it's the
I
third.
would ask you
It sure is.
if the new people must have signed an anti-bribery statement and take a note of all the people beginning to leave the office. Are you aware of that?
That one's not a requirement.
Is that a requirement?
No.
Okay, so it's never been required.
Till now. Thing that any board member has ever, at least in my time here, that has ever been required by law to be signed.
It's fine.
This is new, this legislative session.
So this was never required, the anti-bribery statement?
No.
The Texas Constitution requires all elected and appointed officers to sign an anti-bribery statement and take a note of all before beginning to do.
We take an oath of office, but we've never, within the confines here, we've never signed an anti-bribery.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right. Next item on item number 3 is the oath of office to be administered to by the chief appraiser to Jesse Terrazas and Tim Ward. So
I don't know if you got your copy there. On your
No, I didn't put, you have the copies.
Okay. Well, I will just do this individually. So
Thank you.
I'll start out with Mr. Ward. Please raise your right hand and then repeat after me. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas.
in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
I, Tim Ward,
I, Tim Ward,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of Board of Director of Kinney County Appraisal
of the
District
office of the Board of Directors of the Kinney County Appraisal District
and of the state of Texas,
and the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and the laws of the United States and of this state. So help me
the
God.
laws of the Constitution of this
Of the Constitution and the laws of the United
of
States.
the United States and of
And
the
this
state
state.
of Texas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to hand that to Mr. Tim so he can sign. Hey, Mr. Jesse,
Yes, sir.
the same thing. And in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
In the name and by the authority of state of Texas.
I, Jesse Terrazas,
I, Jesse Felix,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of the Board of Director of Kinney County Appraisal District
of Board of Director of Kinney County Appraisal District
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability,
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution
and defend the Constitution
and the laws
and the laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Texas.
and of the state of Texas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Please sign.
Did Tim sign his?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Ready to go.
Congratulations.
All right. Does that conclude item 3? Okay.
Yes.
All right. We will proceed to item number 4, which is selection of board officers for the 2026-2027 term. We have, for your consideration, of course, on the letterhead, the chairperson, and then serving now as in our offices, we have
Tim Warren as chair.
Yeah,
And Herb Senior as vice chair.
vice chair.
And I believe Donna was our secretary.
Yes, she was.
And so
Okay.
we
3 positions.
three positions.
All right.
Do them all three at once, or you wanna do them one at a time?
Make a motion, whatever.
I cannot nominate myself, but I would nominate you for chairman, Marlon for secretary.
We have a motion.
That's who my nomination.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion on the motion? Any discussion at all? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries without opposition.
Congratulations, Mr. Chairman, you will remain. Continue doing like you're doing.
Appreciate that. We have the vice chair position. Do we have a motion concerning that?
I make a motion to have Mr. Singh.
We have a motion. To elect Mr. City in the position of vice chair. We have a second. Any second to the motion?
Yeah,
Okay, we have a second by Jesse. Now, any discussion on the motion? There being none, then I would entertain a motion. I would entertain a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries without opposition. All right, thank you all very much. Item number 5, approval of the November 4th, 2025 public meeting minutes. Everyone had an opportunity to read. We can certainly take a little time to look them over.
And Jesse, for you, just for your knowledge, we keep them very brief and short.
Okay.
Because we keep the recording of the meeting. And therefore the minutes are basically just a highlight of what actions were taken and how they were voted upon.
Okay.
So, and that's for your all's consideration.
Any issues or corrections to the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes as written for the November 4th.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes. We have a second. Second. Okay, we have a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion on the motion to approve the minutes? There be none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
I abstain, I wasn't here.
Mr. Guzman stands voting on it. And so we have 4 ayes. Okay. Next item is item number 5, which is approval of, receipt of, public comment. Do we have any comment from the public? Any comment at all? We want to welcome you to our meeting, always. And appreciate you being here. And if there is any question or comment, you're invited to address the board if you like to. Okay. All right. Well, very well. We'll move to the next item, which is our county activity report.
And let me do. First of all, I owe Steve an apology because I forgot to put his accomplishment on the list. So I'm going to start off with that. Steve went to his 1 week of review and then took his level 3 appraiser certification exam. 3 weeks ago? Something like that. And passed it. And that is great news because he found out what's the failure rate? About 60% of the people that take that exam fail. And so he passed it on his first go around. So he's well on his way to completing his next big task is completing his level 4, which would be an RPA, which would entitle him to become a chief appraiser. So thankfully, I'm sorry I left that off the sheet, but that slipped my mind and he reminded me of that, and I'm thankful for that. So other CAD reports in your packet, there's the budget recap, which is this sheet. We are at 29.8 on our expenditures. We've moved into the second quarter, and we have collected 50% of what we will collect from the entities at this time, since they've all already paid their second quarter. And so our budget's moving along right on time. Then the next item is a collection for taxes for the 25 year to date. We're at 70.95%, as you can see on your sheet. That's the overall. The city generally is lower than that, but that's the general overall. So we're up 2% from what we were last year. Last year we were up 5% from what we were 2 years ago. So collections is going really well. We're on target to meet, as we generally do, our 95 percentile, which that's about as good as you can ever get on collection with delinquency and all the other variables that come into play. So we're good on the next stage of things. Then our appraisal period is in progress, as outlined in our reappraisal plan. Steve mentioned today that they're at 99% of completing Brackettville, and then we'll be going back to the fort, which they've already completed a portion of the fort. And so our reappraisal plan is looking good at this time. The preliminary work has been done with Derek Walker from Coleman Horton for our annual audit. He will be coming in February he'll probably just spend 1 day with electronics and all the new way of handling things. He can do most of the work at the office. He generally only comes in 1 day to do work here, to pull records and stuff. And so that will be done in February. And then the last day or last week of this month is going to be kind of hectic for us because we have finally got Harris Governor to come down and train all of us on our CAMA system, our computer aided mass appraisal system, the software that we use. They're the providers, so they're coming down to train us. It will be a 5-day training on site. Then we will get more training later on. It's costing a pretty penny. This costs $15,000 for this to happen. But what it's doing is basically what I'm doing and making sure that Allison and Lori, if the rest of us happen to someday disappear, they'll have the knowledge that they need to run the system and carry on with the task here at the office. Gene back in the day got some training. I've gotten some training over the years, but we got a dedicated instructor coming in and will be training us here on site. So that last week of January will be kind of hectic because that's a week a lot of people decide to pay their taxes too. Since it's the last week before penalties and interest. So that's basically
January 31st, right?
yeah. Well, it'll carry over since the 31st falls on the weekend. We're going to follow it over to the first Monday after that.
That's a good.
And so, but that's basically where we're at. I don't know if anyone has any questions about.
Well, one quick comment, Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, sir.
I think that Steve deserves a big hand.
I would agree with that.
Having done what he was able to do in a short period of time. I talked with him earlier about that. He scored over 80%.
Yep.
Steve,
We appreciate you, boy.
Thank you.
Any question? Come on down.
what months is your budget on?
Our budget is September.
October.
Yeah. So we're a standard fiscal year.
Okay.
And collections runs from October through January, and then we start dealing with delinquencies in February.
Any other question or comment on the activity report? If not, we will move to item number 8, which is discussion approval of the Coleman Horton CPA contract for auditing year ending September 2025.
And you all got a copy of that one in your packet. The bottom line is on page 4. It's $11,025. It has gone up a little bit this year, but I believe our budget, we budgeted enough for that
Yes.
on this one. So, but Coleman Horton has always been really good with us. They work real well. Of course, you all at the school work with them also, so you know their reputation. And Derek's real easy going in, Gene, and get everything, all the preliminary stuff done. And so, and on that one, it only needs
Approval.
approval and then Jim's signature and my signature.
Any discussion on the item concerning Coleman Horton CPA's contract for auditing?
I have just one question. I got this in the mail, but I didn't know if there was a deadline for to get to the CPA. I just got the form, no directive or anything else. Is there a deadline to submit this in?
No, you can send it in whenever you want. And
There's no deadline.
it's up to him what he does with it, so.
Need a motion?
Yes, sir.
My motion, Chairman, I move that we approve the Coleman Horton CPA contract for audit as we reviewed today, ending September 30, 2025.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. We have a second.
No second.
Have a second. All right. Any discussion on the motion? There being none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries without opposition.
Thank you.
Next is item number 9, which is to discuss the approval of the PY Pickett and Company utility contract for appraising.
There's copies of the contract on the table.
Yeah, that, we didn't print that one for everyone because it's a big contract. And I did, we had to remail our letter to you all because, and republish the notice of meeting because the contract came in the day after we already sent out the notice. So that's why we got it. Basically, the only thing that's changing will be for 27. The financial burden will be the same as this year for 26, but in 27 it will go up. Let's see, I'm not even sure in here. It will go 4 payments of from 3312 quarterly payments to 3562 quarterly payments. So it's a couple $1,000 that it will go up for 2027, but 2026 will remain the same amount. And Jay Reynolds, I didn't know, but he showed up today. He's out. He came out to appraise some of the stuff that they're in charge of appraising. They do the windmill farms, solar farms, the pipelines, the electrical lines,
Communication towers.
Anything that has, well, radio towers. So anything that is industrial or commercial that's beyond our scope is what they handle. And so,
So utility contract means that they'll appraise on anything that involves a utility?
yes, that's,
It's like, it's an like an extension of his office.
they
A contract.
they work under contract for us.
Okay.
Yes.
They've been around a long time. I remember, gee, I don't know how old the firm is, but when I started with the county in 81, it was.
Yeah, it's
that's when we were not consolidated.
right.
And so they had.
It's a rather large. They have our guys work out of the Corpus Christi office. They have an office in Dallas. Jay Reynolds, the gentleman that was here today that does most of the local work, he's the one that will go with us to the solar farms and the windmill farms and inspect. What was it he told us today? He's the number one. He inspects almost all the coal mines in Wyoming. He does, what was the other one? Platinum?
No, uranium.
Uranium. He appraises uranium mines in Wyoming also.
Wow.
So he's, and then they've got guys that are specialized in windmill. They've got guys that are specialized in pipelines. And so they each do their own work. And it depends on what's going on, which the J is the one that generally comes to our county.
Do they, on occasion, give training or talks to
Yes.
entities of government?
Well, that's one thing Mr. Tim had brought up to me the other day, and thankfully Jay was here, and we're going to set up an appointment with him for them to come out and do a presentation for the taxing entities that receive benefits from their services from the industrial stuff, so that there will be a better understanding of what their actual scope of work is, how it ties in with our responsibilities, and how it affects what Mr. Tim was interested in, the long-term depreciation of value and how the entities need to prepare their budgeting for the long-term decrease, which the renewables, they are in a very heavy depreciation, whereas the pipelines and the power lines don't get depreciated a whole lot because they're appraised more on their transmission, similar to the railroad. And so, but that's beyond the scope of anything I can explain. So that because of,
and we're 80-20. 80%, and on that end, which is considerable amount of ad valorem value. And when it begins to depreciate, it has a tremendous impact.
Right.
And so we appreciate the added value,
Right.
but at the same time, need to be prepared because if the devaluation is 5% a year, it's considerable even at that rate. And if it's 10%, it's very,
Yeah.
concerning. Yes.
Well,
So, the entities need to be aware and be able to budget accordingly so that you offset the depreciation.
and we haven't seen since the increases have been coming in, we haven't seen depreciation be a factor because we've always gained new value that has overridden any depreciation that has come into the system. But there will be a point where depreciation is a factor. So, and they're the ones that can explain all that.
Anytime anyone has a question, please ask us. We may not have all the answers, and we don't, but we certainly
We know
want to
the
be
people
open
that have.
questions, discussion, and that's the way I learn always, and so wanted to mention that. So with respect to T.Y. Pickett,
You need a motion?
yes, sir.
I'll give you one. I move that we approve T.Y. Pickett and Company utility contract as not presented, but as discussed today.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. Any discussion on the motion to approve the contract with T.Y. Pickett and Company? There be no discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries without opposition. Item 10, the appointment of the ARB members, Linda O'Brien, Cordelia Mendeke, Brad Whitaker, and Wanda Selby. Wanda's with us this evening. Welcome, Wanda.
No, I mean, they do a good job. They're an independent board, and it's hard to find people for the board, and they're all willing to continue to serve in their positions. Linda can't be here. Her father had a stroke yesterday. And then Cordelia's dealing with
Lucille.
Lucille. So there's some health issues at this moment. That's why they're not here. Generally, they're here.
All these have received training.
Yes, every year. Yeah. In March, we will do the training here again as we have in the last 3 years. So every year we benefit from the training also with them here.
You mentioned it's hard to get people to apply for these positions. When was the last time you opened up for these positions? Or to hire, get new people, or to have people that are interested on?
We don't open for applications. We invite people to consider.
So the public's not notified?
No, we haven't recently because the last 4 years we've not had a need of anyone. We've had a complete board. The board is composed of 3, and we have 4 members, which is an alternate. So generally, we can function that way. So at this moment, we don't have a need for any. We don't have to get more than 1 panel going at a time. We generally only run 2 or 3 days of hearings a year. So, but when we are in the need, we seek out individuals. Your dad, I asked him to be on. He said no. He did consider it, but
Well, and what we know is that it's not an easy job, and you're dealing directly with the taxpayers who are generally disgruntled.
yes,
And not that we have so many, but that's what we describe as the more difficult part of serving on the ARB. So in the past, I can remember years ago that sometimes we had to twist arms to get people to agree to serve because of the, controversial position.
Mhm.
So anyway, just a little added comment. So, any other question or comment about the ARB members? If they're not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Wow. Never heard so much quietness in it. Everybody.
Like, I hold in there.
It's the ARB, Judge.
Yeah. So moved.
Oh,
We
yeah.
appoint the ARB members as noted in the agenda.
We have a motion. Herb, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a
Thank you,
second.
Marlon. I thought it was out there by myself.
Any discussion on the motion to approve the list of ARB members?
I think the only discussion is that I think there ought to be consideration to open it up to the public in the future to apply, to at least give the opportunity to the public to apply the taxpayers. And then no one applies, well, then we're left with whoever's here.
No, we can't. We have to move forward at this point.
Any other discussion on the motion? Very well, if there be none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay,
And the motion carries without opposition.
nay,
Nay,
Got a nay
okay,
over there.
excuse me. And we have a no vote by Mr. Guzman. All right. Item number 11, appointment of the ARB chairperson, Cordelia Mendeke.
Yes, Linda has been the chairperson for the last several years, and Cordelia has agreed to take that position over at this time, and she's probably one of our, if not our best, not telling anyone else or not, but she's very serious about her job, as you all know her in her position. That
You always do.
yes, and so she does a very good job. She calls me on the carpet once in a while if I need it, and so.
Probably every one of us at one time. Well, she's a good one.
Yes, we really appreciate Cordelia, so she has agreed to do that.
Question or comment about the appointment of Cordelia Mendeke as the ARB chairperson?
I make a motion to approve Cordelia as the chair.
We have.
I'm subject to motion, Marlon.
We have a second. Any discussion on the motion to approve our ARB chairperson? There be none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
no.
And Mr. Guzman votes no. And the motion carries. All right. Item number 12. Discussion approval of the 2026 board meeting and holiday schedule calendar. Have we, hopefully everybody's got a copy of the.
There's some on the table too, if you need them.
If I'm gonna look that over, we'll do so.
There isn't been any subtractions or additions, right, from last year?
No,
Find it.
Oh.
Thank you. Because, well, good thing it wasn't a rattlesnake. I've been bit.
Yeah, we have.
First of all, any question about the holiday schedule?
No.
Open it up.
That's about like it was last time, man.
yeah. Just pretty well copied from the previous year to this year.
Okay, then as far as the board of directors meetings in relation to the calendar year, any question about that?
Of course, all those are available for modification if required. So, which that does happen once in a
There's
while.
5 of them in the year, is that what? it
Yes. Yeah, we're required 1 in a quarter, but we generally get 5 in a year. And
And we
every
want
once,
special meetings too.
every once in a while, we'll have a special meeting.
Looks good to me, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone have any question or comment on the schedule or the meeting calendar for the board of directors? Okay, if not, we have a motion.
I move to approve.
Second.
We got a second, all right? We have a motion made and seconded to approve. Any other discussion? There be none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries without opposition. Item number 13, discussion of the first presentation of the proposed 2026-2027 preliminary budget.
So hopefully in your packet, you all got a copy of our budget. It's we might call this the pre-preliminary, as the state calls a bunch of stuff for us. But this is the requirement for us to do this early in the school, in the calendar year because of the school's fiscal year. That's what creates this, because we have to be 7 months out. So for us to get it in time, we've got to have it approved by March. This is our first presentation on it. And on the first sheet, you'll be able to see the increases. The overall increase is 6.39%. And the vast majority of that has to do with software.
Has to be with what?
Software. The state is continuously requiring more stuff that has to be handled electronically, and our service providers, they provide it and just has a price tag to it. So a lot of that, there's no way of getting around. If we don't do it with them, we're going to have to find someone else, and there's not many someone else is out there to find. And so the second page is the breakdown for appraisal and collections. Appraisal is 56% of our budget. Collections is 44%. And you can see the breakdown on how each of the entities is billed accordingly and their levy. This year, the county has gotten an increase and the school has gotten a decrease. In the third page, you can see incomes
The school got a decrease in the tax collection, but they're.
in the levy,
Okay.
in the percentage of the levy.
Okay.
It's just the way things have worked out this year. Income, assessments, other income, and then the overview of the expenses. You can see a 6.35 increase. And then on the fourth page, again, the expenses continue. It shows the different categories, the annual audit, appraisal review board, the reappraisal plan, legal fees. That's the big unknown right now on that one due to outstanding lawsuits, postage, public notices, TY Pickett, appraisal notices, statements, dues and publications, and then office expenses, equipment. We don't have to buy new computers or a new server this year, other than things that go bad and stuff like that. Our contingency fund, again, that one's always an issue, but we like to keep on hand enough money to function for about 3 months if the entities aren't able to pay us one of the quarters. So that's that amount. Then our professional development, we can always have to be in continuing education, and the certification for those that don't have it. Allison and Lori, they're the next two that are tasked with starting to get their certification. Steve will continue to get his to level 4, and Gene and I just have to continue working on our continuing education. And then the building expenses, you can see the difference there. Utilities, and the change in the budget there. And then automation down at the bottom of the fifth page,
That's one read up there.
that one, yes.
And that's 100,000, plus or minus. Is that- I just looked at it a while ago.
Yeah, yep. It went from about 78.5 to 100,500. So, but again, that's,
Can't control it.
no. Our legislature is real good about, unfunded mandates.
Yeah.
You all know about that, or I would guess. And the final one, is, our proposed payroll budget. I'm getting bended ears to increase that, but and if y'all would consider that, we would appreciate it, but we've got it at 4% straight across the board right now. And so we're hoping that will keep up with inflation.
But for clarification, you're anticipating 6.39 increase.
That's what the budget, this preliminary budget is. It's that amount of increase. If it stays the way it is, make adjustments on it, then that could increase or decrease. But this is the preliminary, for you to consider it.
And this budget doesn't include any more resolutions to move monies to any tax community.
What do you mean?
Well, we had the resolution last year. So is there any more monies in that sense gonna go over? If anyone requested additional money,
No,
the county, the school, anybody else?
no.
Okay, so they're not gonna be another.
This is our budget,
Okay.
so we did not have excess funds.
Okay.
We have used our funds this year. And again, to clarify, our budget is a total separate account that has nothing to do with tax collection. They are completely independent one from another. We do not, cannot, and it's illegal for us to keep any money that is paid in taxes. Our budget is covered by contract to the taxing entities. They have to pay us. That's the only place that we get money other than certificate,
Tax certificate.
tax certificates or requests for particular data, which we charge a standard $50 per request. So the only income that we have is via contract money from the taxing entities. We do not keep any collections that we make. That is always dispersed, and the two counts are totally separate. It is not commingled funds. They're two separate bank accounts, and nothing is ever cross contaminated one from the other. So
This is a discussion item only. And
yes,
so
this is for your consideration.
For discussion only. Yeah.
hopefully give opportunity and
We
next
have
time
to
we'll
have it
gather
okayed to go to the entities in March.
questions at that time. So in the meantime, look it over.
Do any other appraisal districts keep money in escrow? Legally, let me put that word in there.
Well,
Ours is something we're saying we can't.
no, see, there's this big discussion. Yes, I know there are appraisal districts that keep a lot of money,
Unencumbered funds.
unencumbered funds.
Yep.
And we've asked our attorney and we've asked our accountant, how do we go about doing that? And it's very difficult because of the way the statutes are written that we're supposed to be a zero balance entity. And so the only way that we have found to deal with this is to have a line item as a contingency fund.
Yeah.
To have money available in it to cover the what ifs. One of those contingencies this year could be legal. because of that outside.
Automation.
And automation, when, yes, different things come in that are not budgeted items, but stuff that we have to cover, then that contingency fund. But the notion of the contingency fund is if, because it has happened, we had one taxing entity that was not able to pay us on the due date of their quarterly payment. And so we had to function for, what was it, a week or so?
Yeah, a couple of weeks. Well, until we collected their money
Right.
to pay them. Their
Yeah, we had to send them the collection money that we made to them, and then they were able to send money back to us. And so that's how we've been able to handle that issue. But it's not a very clear issue. It's a hard one to deal with. So,
Any other discussion on the proposed 2026-2027 preliminary budget?
Can you hold it at 4%? You think? Is it gonna be, that's just 4% increase is what we're talking.
for salaries, but the over,
That's what I'm talking
Yes.
about.
oh, yeah, we can hold it there. I could hold it at 0 if I had to, but my staff might hang me.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I also know that, feel that and believe that. You get what you pay for a lot of times. If you have good people, which we do have,
I agree.
we need to do everything we can do within our powers to pay a good salary
Yes.
to those people. Well, 4% is 4%, but it's not much.
We're trying to keep ahead of the CPI at this point with
That's
4%.
what you're gonna have coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
of
it
course,
might be more than that.
of course, we all know the calculation for the CPI doesn't include groceries and gasoline. So the true CPI, what the cost of living increase,
That's right.
is quite different than what the actual numbers that are provided by the federal government. So, but yes, generally what I investigated this year, the standard increase for government employees in the state of Texas for this year is 2 to 4% increase.
So you chose 4.
Yes,
I agree with you.
I would have gone more if I felt like,
I would agree.
and so, but I'll leave that up to you guys.
Well, 2 to 4, I would pick 4 too.
Well, yeah,
You bet.
so. But yes, we do have good people here. I'm proud of every one of them.
We are too.
Any other discussion on the proposed budget? There being none,
And we will have to get these to the entities in March. So it'll need to be approved at the March meeting.
item number 14, discussion approval, orderly modified bill report.
That's back again, for Mr. Jesse since you're new here. The quarterly modified bill report happens because during the year, we have to make adjustments to values. A lot of occasions, it's military that come in to get their DV exemptions, homestead exemptions for people that are moving in, that are moving their homestead here, people that turn 65 during the year, they get their over 65 homestead exemption. That would be the majority of what the adjustments are. And then throughout the year, there can be other types of adjustments. Some properties that sell, they lose some of their exemptions, and so there's an increase. And so it just depends on how it balances out. And so the adjustment at this point is a positive, correct?
correct.
42,609.23 on the modified bill report for this time frame. So that one part of it is we did a rollback on a piece of property because it's no longer being used as ag, it's being commercial. You all probably know which I'm talking about because you see it every time you go to Del Rio. And so that increase there, and I'm not sure what the rest of them are, but that's the kind of things that create the modified bill report. So we set out to get X number of dollars, but because of adjustments through the year, that gets modified. And one of those was a deferral.
Yeah,
The
with that, yeah,
deferral got paid off.
no, they
No.
never, hasn't paid it yet.
We had another adjustment because there was a deferral that is being dealt with to get taken care of. So once it's paid, there'll be another adjustment, so. And now the deferrals are, I don't like them. This is the first one we really had to do. A deferral, when a person turns 65, they can defer their taxes and not pay any taxes. But once the owner is gone, then their heirs have 6 months to get that bill taken care of. If not, we take possession of it. So one of the heirs in this instance found out that his dad had done this and wasn't happy, so they're getting taken care of before, while dad's still here.
So I guess it'd be correct to say that the 42,000 is credit plus due there, plus taxing entities.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
That was picked up. So any other questions on the modified bill?
Move to approve it.
Motion to approve modified bill report. Second. Any discussion on the motion to approve the modified bill report? There be none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries without opposition.
I need
We'll
all signatures.
Yes.
all signatures.
That every board member has to sign that.
We'll pass it around. Item number 15 is to distribute the chief appraiser evaluation form, which
It's just for them to take with them.
Is it-
They're not gonna fill it out now. They take it with them.
this is to be basically considered and to be voted on from our March meeting and by the board of directors. So we wanted to give you a head start on it so that you have a copy of it. Again, assemble your thoughts and opinions on that. Any question on that? Of course, for this evening, it is a discussion item, presentation to you. A little homework. All right, there be no question or comment on item number 15. Have a motion to adjourn, and we have a second, and the time, I'm looking correctly,
5:54.
5:53.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn. Do we have any discussion on the motion? There be none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries without opposition. Thank you all very much.
Your vision of red, I'm a streak of green, and I'm going to move through you.
Run.